Welcome, learners, to a truly compelling deep dive today. Just imagine a small, pretty remote rural community, miles away from the big cities or research labs. And now, picture two young men from that exact place, not just dreaming about going to the moon, but actually making concrete plans to get there. It's an amazing story. It really challenges our ideas about where big ambitions can come from. So today we're digging into a really insightful analysis. It's from a text called Umhlaba ofile, Character, Setting, and Theme Analysis. And for those wondering, Umhlaba ofile translates roughly to the dead world. That title alone kind of gives you a hint about the deep themes we'll be exploring. This analysis isn't the story itself, but it's like a guide, giving us a shortcut to understand its core lessons.
Exactly. And our mission really is to pull out the key insights from this breakdown. We'll look at the characters, how the community dynamics worked, and the role technology played. You'll get a much better sense, I think, of what drives people, the huge hurdles you face with groundbreaking stuff, and how communities react sometimes in really surprising ways.
Okay, get ready for a really engaging conversation. We're going to unpack the characters' journeys, look at the unique setting Mafakathini, and explore these powerful themes. I think there'll be some definite ha moments. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's start with the two main guys, Solomon and John, childhood friends from Mafakathini, sharing this, well, frankly, unbelievable dream. What's so striking about their background and their bond, especially given where they started?
What was fascinating right off the bat is their foundation. They both got scholarships to study overseas. And you have to remember, for black people at that time, that was incredibly rare. A huge achievement. This wasn't just general studies either. It was specifically advanced engineering, aerospace stuff. And their friendship, it wasn't just casual. It was deep. Real loyalty, shared ambition. That bond was absolutely key to driving them towards, the moonshot. They weren't just stargazing. They were building the rocket, so to speak, from a place most people wouldn't even imagine.
Solomon, especially, sounds like quite a character. He gets this nickname, Mafavuk, the one who rose again. What's the story behind that, and what does it really tell us about him?
Yeah, Solomon, he embodies this unusual mix of high-level intelligence, real respect for the science, but also this incredible patience. The nickname, Mafavuk, it comes from this pretty intense incident. He was attacked, basically left for dead, and then somehow he wakes up in a hospital.
Wow.
Right. But the analysis suggests it's more than just physical survival. It's about this inner resilience, rising again psychologically. It allows him to face down everything, the police accusations, the royal council's doubts, even physical attacks later on. He just calmly explains his work, speaks truth to power, even to his own dad. He doesn't back down. It's sort of core to who he is.
And John, his friend, he seems like the quieter one maybe, but obviously crucial.
Oh, absolutely crucial. John's defining thing is loyalty. Just rock solid loyalty to Solomon. He trusted Solomon so much that he often just let him take the lead in conversations, which isn't weakness. It's profound trust. And you see his sensitivity too. Like when Solomon disappeared, he was apparently distraught, crying, then tears of joy when he came back. But his bravery, it's quieter but powerful. The analysis points out he was ready to go on the moon mission alone if he had to.
Really? Just to fulfill the dream?
Yeah, or a commitment to Solomon's vision. It shows, courage doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's about sticking with it, being that steady support.
Okay, so it's one thing for them to have this dream, but how did their parents, Gasa and Antuli, react? A moon mission from Mafakatini. That must have sounded crazy.
Oh, absolutely. That fear you mentioned is key. Initially, both fathers, Gasa, Solomon's dad, and Antuli, John's dad, they were more than just skeptical. They were genuinely fearful, worried about the boys' strange actions, as the text puts it.
Strange actions, yeah, like witchcraft or something.
Possibly that kind of fear, yeah. Or just that they die or get kicked out of the community for being so different. It really shows how radical innovation can feel threatening to a traditional setup. But what's interesting is how they evolve. Gasa, he thinks about it, doesn't just dismiss it. He eventually tries to support Solomon. Nuntuli, too, tries to back John up, even if he doesn't fully get the science.
So there's this theme of ignorance, but also parental love eventually winning out.
Exactly. Ignorance is a big theme, but so is that evolving support. Although the analysis also points out some darker domestic stuff, like Gasa slapping his wife, Mazwani, for speaking her mind, which ironically makes him scared of the police later. And Nuntuli apparently neglected his wife, Mavengo. So even in these families trying to be supportive, there are these underlying tensions.
You mentioned the mothers, Mazwan and Mabengu. What roles did they play? Seems like they faced their own challenges.
They really did. Mazwan, Solomon's mother, comes across as incredibly calm, open-minded, and wise. She shows amazing composure even when Gasa hits her or when she thinks Solomon might be dead, and her wisdom really shines through in how she deals with Mapengu. She calmly explains things, even though Mapengu is initially quite angry and jealous.
Jealous, why?
Well, Mapengu, John's mother, seems to have struggled with jealousy and envy. The analysis suggests she felt Maswana was stealing attention from her husband and son.
Ah, okay. So internal community friction, too.
Right, even between neighbors. But Maswan's approach helps smooth things over. She represents this kind of quiet, emotional intelligence holding things together.
Then we have other community figures, Shilo the journalist, Shrezi the policeman. How do they show different sides of Mafakatini's reaction?
Yeah, they're almost perfect opposites. Silo represents the power to the media, but in a good way. He's described as passionate, smart, attentive. He actually goes and asks questions, listens humbly. And because of that, he writes these compelling stories that get people interested, sell papers, even get the news out internationally.
So media as a bridge, basically.
Exactly, bridging that gap between local innovation and the wider world. Then you have policeman Shizi. He's the flip side, abuse of power and just plain ignorance. He's reckless, barges into homes, makes threats without understanding anything.
Yeah.
There's this almost funny but also kind of awful detail where he refuses to close an oven during some investigation, and it causes an explosion. He apparently panics and runs off like a frightened rat.
Oh my goodness.
It sounds comical, but it really highlights how dangerous ignorance combined with authority can be. Though to his credit, the analysis says he later regrets it and apologizes. So maybe a little growth there.
Okay, we've talked characters. Let's talk about the place itself, Mafakatini. Why is this rural setting so important? It feels like more than just a backdrop.
Oh, it's absolutely crucial. It's not just rural. It's a specific place steeped in Zulu tradition. Neighbors are close-knit. There's a chief, a council, community rituals for everything, mourning, celebrating. So having these high-tech engineers emerge from that specific context really amplifies how unexpected it all is. It cuts against stereotypes.
Right, and you mentioned something about the stars.
Yeah, a lovely detail in the analysis. The lack of electricity actually made it easier to see the stars. Maybe planted that seed early on. And the time period matters too. It's modern enough. ANC government, President Ramaphosa, attends an event for space travel and modern communication to be feasible. But crime, that traditional skepticism, the ignorance we talked about, those are still major hurdles. It's this mix of old and new.
So Solomon and John weren't doing this totally solo. They worked with international engineers, right? Who were they and what did they add?
Right, this brings in the themes of higher education and engineering on a global scale. Those overseas studies connected them with people like Professor Cassius, Master Edward, and General Otrostel. And what's cool here is the mix of personalities. General Otrostel, an Italian engineer, he's the pilot. Fearless, a genius, apparently saved the spacecraft from crashing at one point.
A real hero type.
Definitely. Then Professor Cassius showed bravery too, but more through patience, especially dealing with anxiety from others. Because then you have Master Edward. He represents internal conflict. The analysis calls him a coward, basically. Always panicking, nervous about the whole thing.
So even on this high-tech mission, you have the full range of human emotion.
Exactly. It shows that even rocket science is a human endeavor, with fear, courage, genius, all mixed together.
Okay, so while they're reaching for the moon, there's this intense, very earthly drama happening back home with Amali and Sabello. Quite a contrast. What went down there?
Yeah, this really grounds the story, showing the destructive side of human emotions like jealousy and envy. It's a stark counterpoint to the, lofty space ambitions.
Yeah.
Amali was Solomon's ex. She got engaged to Sabello, who'd paid low below the traditional bride price, a serious commitment.
Oh.
But when Solomon comes back, Amali's old feelings resurfaced. She gets reckless, even attacks someone she wrongly suspects Sabello is interested in. Sabello, meanwhile, gets consumed by jealousy toward Solomon. It turns toxic. He plans to kill Solomon.
Oh, no.
But tragically, in his rage, he ends up killing Amali instead,
Yeah.
and then himself.
That's awful.
It really is. It's a brutal look at partner violence, and the analysis adds this chilling note that this kind of thing had become almost normal news.
Wow. A commentary on the times, even amidst the space race.
Exactly. A very powerful, very grim reality check.
So looking back at Solomon and John's overall journey, the analysis really emphasizes perseverance. They face so much opposition. What's the core message there?
I think the core message is that real perseverance means standing firm for your beliefs, especially when they challenge everything around you. For something truly new and groundbreaking to succeed, maybe it has to be tested like this. Through struggle, through opposition.
Like a trial by fire?
Sort of, yeah. Their trip to the moon wasn't just about physics. It was a battle against fear and doubt. And they won through sheer determination. The key insight might be that breakthroughs often require you to push forward, even when your own community, your own support system, is telling you no.
And finally, this idea about purpose. Despite everything trying to stop Solomon, he kept going. I feel that there's something deeper there.
There does seem to be, yes. The analysis suggests this idea that maybe a person's true purpose, perhaps even a divinely ordained one, can actually be stopped. Solomon's survival, his continued push forward with John and the others, it paints a picture of this unstoppable force.
Like destiny.
Perhaps. Or just profound resilience aligned with a powerful calling. It suggests that if something is truly meant to be, it will find a way, regardless of the obstacles. It's quite a powerful thought. So yeah, this deep dive into Umhlaba ofile, it really shows a story packed with complex characters, a community grappling with change, and these huge, ambitious goals. We've seen individual brilliance, friendship, skepticism, power dynamics, raw emotion. It all weaves together into something pretty unforgettable.
So, what's the takeaway for you listening in as you think about Solomon and John going from this small village literally to the moon, facing all kinds of hurdles? Maybe ask yourself, what impossible dreams are you holding on to? What beliefs do you stand by? And what does it really mean to rise again when things try to knock you down? This story is a great reminder, I think, that the biggest leaps can come from unexpected places, all powered by perseverance and just refusing to let fear or ignorance define your limits. Keep dreaming, keep learning, and keep reaching for your own moon.